Hello everybody, this is Craig from 9 Volt Games, and today I fucked this up. So I played Bulletstorm. I got like a few things to talk about. Hold on. 14 years ago, I did a review for Bulletstorm. On Memorial Day, I played Bulletstorm again. I mean, I played this one. I have 20. I don't know if you can see it, but I have 22 hours on it, so I've at least played it twice. Because it's about a 10-hour game. Less now. I beat it pretty quick. I probably beat this game 3 times. But anyways, I uninstalled the game to make room for Slave Zero, which is coming today because I'm a piece of shit and haven't bought myself a new hard drive yet. So you just get this for now in my face. I got hit in the head at work last night and I'm afraid to go to sleep right now. So I gotta wait to make sure I don't have a concussion or any of that. So I'm also using this to make sure that I'm not slurring my speech. That's one. 2, real quick, since this game is super inappropriate, it's super fucking inappropriate. Like, if they re-release this game now, I bet you somebody would have a problem with it because of some of the language that they use in this game. But it's why I love it, because people like to pretend that they don't know people who talk, hateful or whatever, but everybody does know somebody. And there's a character like that in this game. Him, bad guy. He's why can't I think of his name? General Serrano. There you go. I was just about to say something he says in the game. I'm not even gonna say it. He offends everybody. How about that? I think the only one that don't touch is black people, because they didn't cast any in the game. But we're not going to talk about that right now. Listen, recasting. That's right. I should restart this whole thing. I don't want to. That doesn't have to do with my head. That has to do with I went outside before I did this video. And I'm extremely tired. But anyways, real quick, I dipped over to my other channel, Studio 9, and I tried to make that channel family friendly. And I literally watched the last 5 minutes of my second video and I swore 6 times. So I'm just going to move those videos over to this channel because I worked really hard on those Sonic videos. Anyways, I'm getting way off track. So 14 years ago, I played this game and I gave it for anybody who's seen any of my older reviews, I gave it my stamp of fucking phenomenal, right? That's what I used to say about games I really enjoy. Basically, if I reviewed a game back then, it's because I enjoyed it, because I didn't shit on any games and I didn't waste time talking about games and I didn't like. So, 14 years later, is this game still fucking phenomenal? Yeah, it is. I had so much fucking fun. I think I posted a short on here of a really sweet combination of trick shots I didn't even do yet, or kill shots that I didn't do one of them. It was brand new for me. Still to this day, all right? I mean, the game holds up graphically because it's got that old weird Unreal look. Like this game reminds me of like Unreal Tournament, Unreal Championship, and it's got that blocky look, kind of like Gears of War, where it can still hold up graphically because they don't look like real people. And then with the addition of putting Duke Nukem in here, like, it's obviously not a real person. I think it's not cartoony and it's not Borderlands, like cell shaded, but it's bright. It's like you're watching a cartoon, right? Just because of how over the top it is and how brightly colored it is. That's how I feel about the game, and that's how I feel about you being able to go back and enjoy it and not be like, oh, this is an ugly mess. You know what I mean? That's why they gotta, when they use realistic graphics nowadays, we gotta go back and start remastering games because make the people look more human. You don't have to do that with this type of game. I spent way too much time on this. My point is, does it hold up to phenomenal? I breezed through it. Like I said, I beat it on 360. I beat the full clip edition. And then I beat it again with Duke's World Tour. So this was my 4th full playthrough that I can actually remember playing through the whole game. The game was great, and then adding Duke Nukem made it feel like a new game because They kept every other character's dialogue the same, and they had Duke Nukem just addressing how ridiculous everything was. And even saying, like, acknowledging, like, you guys aren't even calling me the right name. Like, that added a whole new replayability to the game, and it kind of felt like a new game plus in this type of genre. So even though this game is like, it's a linear first-person shooter. I don't know where I was going with that. It's a linear first-person shooter. It kind of feels like a more constrained Doom, really, because you're just kind of going room to room and fighting, and then proceeding to the next level. So getting any kind of replayability out of that is hard enough. This game does it now with the ability to go through and have an entirely different protagonist, completely voiced over, with a character that, you know, people who are here right now absolutely already love. And by the way, this game was a better Duke Nukem game than the fucking Duke Nukem Forever, which I still liked, but this was a way better game. So please give us, People Can Fly. Can you give us a new Duke Nukem? If you have the ability to do that. If you don't, somebody make it happen. I don't even know if People Can Fly its company anymore. But so they did that, and then the trick shots, like I said earlier, they added replayability because I'm still getting ones apparently I didn't get the first time around. So here's where we're gonna go in, and because again, I reviewed this 14 years ago. If you want an actual honest review, I did a way better review. This is more of a does it hold up, but go to that one because I didn't spoil anything. I'm gonna spoil it right now. I know I've talked about this in past videos, and now I can confirm that 14 years later, this is still my favorite set piece in any, not just first person shooter, any video game ever. It's stuck with me. There's a lot of awesome things that happen in Doom. There's a lot of great times I had in Halo. You know, a lot of memorable times in GoldenEye. All that shit, right? This will stay with me forever because it's so fucking ridiculous. So here comes the spoiler part, if you actually care about the story. When it's you and Ishii and Serrano and your General Serrano, and you're on the ship after you rescue him. So this is near the end of the game. This is the spoiler part. I already spoiled it. When you rescue him and then you're trying to get off world, and then they get trapped in the room with the DNA bomb, and then Serrano takes off. And then Ishii, since he's, you know, mostly robot now, or mostly robot brained, he starts listening up. He's like, there's no probability that we're gonna make it out of this room. And you start finding a way out, and as you're going, the human side of Ishii comes out, and Gray or Duke, whoever you're playing at the time, starts like filling him with hope and being the leader that he's supposed to be. And it plays dramatic music, and you're crawling through vents, and you're going around the ship, and then Ishii's finally like, you know what, I think we could make it. And you break through the door, and you end up back in the same fucking spot that you were in, and you're still trapped with the bomb. I loved it, because that was like a 10-minute thing where you're like, you're feeling good, and you're gonna make it, and they just pulled the rug out from under you. And obviously it wasn't like an unintentionally funny moment. It was meant to be that way. But I miss that type of stuff in games. Games are super serious now, guys. It's a serious business. And we gotta abide by standards and practices and blah, blah, blah. Because like I said, this game, if this game came out today, half of it would have been censored. And if it wasn't censored, there would have been a recall, or they would have had to issue refunds, or you know what I mean? Because the language is real colorful. There's a bunch of racist, homophobic, sexist shit in here. But you gotta understand that this was kind of built like off of the 80s hero motif, even though sorry about that. I don't know why I use that word. It sounded gross coming out. I know it was used correctly, but I don't like it. Anyways, so it was supposed to be that 80s action style. with a more futuristic, Unreal style tone. I stuttered. Get that concussion. I don't remember what the fuck I was talking about now. That word motif fucked me up. Oh yeah, so it was going for that, and in going for that, it knew its target audience, which was me, and a bunch of other people. But the target audience was Duke Nukem fans. All right, that's why he was so easily interchangeable. And with that, you have to have the surrounding characters, and as shitty as they are, that's how they made bad guys back in the day. They just made them say all the most deplorable shit you didn't want to hear so that when you got to kill them, it was super satisfying, right? So that's all this is about. The gameplay is still fluid as fuck. It's amazing. There's some game companies that should really go back and play Bulletstorm to learn how to make a nice fluid shooter, all right? There's games that have come out after this that have been terrible. But this is, so when I used to do the awards here, this is Dragon. I'm going to wrap this up. This is the end. When I used to do the video game awards on this channel, I would always do the most video game award. And that was the one that kind of embodied everything that was not just, it was game of the year, like, when Last of Us came out, that got my game of the year because the story, made all the shortcomings of the game, because it did have some. Just it made you forget about them, and it was a great game, blah, blah, blah. But there were things that, now that I've played through the game a million times, I'm going to go back and nitpick and be like, I don't like this. I don't like this. I wish this was different. I wish this was different. I don't have that with this game. So when I say the most video game of video games, I mean the one where you just sit down, you can play it for an hour, you can play it for 8 hours, you can play it for 20 minutes, and you can still have the same amount of fun and not have something piss you off or not make you feel like I have to go to the next part, otherwise I'm not going to get my time's worth out of it. This is one of those games. So even though it's this is where I was trying to go originally, so I finally got it. Even though it's a linear corridor style, even though it's open environments, it's a corridor style shooter. I fucking lost it again. God damn it. Anyways, even though I know what it is, sorry. Even though it's this is why people edit shit. I don't know why people like me doing videos this way better. Even though it's a linear corridor shooter with a story, and you just, you go from point A to point B into the next, they call them acts and chapters, but it's just levels. It's an arcade game. Even the way that the kill shots and stuff are set up, everything is set up like an arcade game. So if you ever want to play a game that you don't have to take super serious, that's going to be fucking hilarious in the background especially, so much hilarious shit going on in the background if you just pay attention. And like I said, play it in whatever interval of time and you're going to have fun. That's the type of video game that I miss, and that's why I go back to games like Bulletstorm and play them. I have no idea why companies... I mean, I do, but I don't want to get into politics of things. But seriously, why don't companies make games like this anymore? They make money. The only people that have balls to make games that just throw everything out there are indie. They're indie devs. They're the only people that do it, and even that's tapering off now. I want some fun games, guys. That's why I was like, out of all the videos that I could go back and redo, that's why I picked this one. It's because I had so much fun on my day off playing a game, and I didn't feel like if I stopped at any point, like I was going to miss out on something, or, I just had fun. And yeah, that's why this game re-gets its stamp of fucking phenomenal. Please don't fall over. Okay. Thank you guys for watching. If there's anything that I've done in the past that you'd like me to go back and re-review and take it a little more serious, I can. Or not. I don't care. I am taking those Sonic videos and put them up here, though, because I worked hard on those and I'm proud of them. Thank you guys for watching.